President Obama's friends in Hollywood clearly feel no shame, constantly ridiculing Republicans, their families, and their children. And through it all, we've heard nothing but radio silence from the president himself, Mr. Civility. Now, particularly when the offender is one of his biggest donors. Bill Maher, once again, the president's million-dollar man, took to the airways to express outrage at the notion that voters should actually have to show a government ID at the polling place. Oh, and of course, he couldn't help but attack the Tea Party as well.
The voter registration laws that they're trying to pass, basically suppressing the
voter
vote.
ID, voter registration.
ID. You need a picture ID now to vote. You know, we're going to propose that. Yeah, we'll give you that, but then we get to give the tea beggars a literacy test. If you're going to make poor black people jump through a hoop to vote, then we're going to make tea beggars answer the question: is Africa a country or a continent? Name a country that speaks French. You know, things like that. First of all, never call Republicans racist. That's not what they are. However, they did find something that they do that it would be harder for a lot of black people to do. Yes, as you say, that nobody does this. Nobody, impersonates other people. I think it happened 10 times. Not 10% of the time.
No, 10 times.
And joining me with reaction, the author of 52 Reasons to Vote for Obama, Democratic strategist Bernard Whitman, and from the Imus in the Morning program, oh, bejesus, Bernard McGurk, he's back. How are you, Cardinal?
Hannity, Milad. How are you?
Good to see you.
How are you looking at?
You know what I'm tired of? The smear and slander, the accusation of racism. You have a Truth Team member in Virginia. Romney's a racist. You have Biden playing the race card. You have the million-dollar man, Bill Maher, playing the race card. When are Democrats like you, Obama supporters like you, going to stand up and demand that President Civility stop? Do it tonight. Show me some moral courage.
Sean, we're not talking about racism.
Show me moral courage.
We are talking about the most outrageous, widespread attempt to disenfranchise voters from young people
Did I ask
and
you to
lower
stop for a
income
second?
minorities since the Voting Rights Act of 1964. It is completely outrageous.
I asked you a different question. I said you have a Truth Team Obama surrogate accuses Romney of being racist. The race card played by the vice president, million-dollar man, uses the C word for Sarah Palin. Now he's using the race card. Where is your righteous indignation? Where is it? Do you have any? Do you have any shame?
He is not using the race card. He is pointing out.
Do you have any shame?
He is pointing out that there is not a single case of voter fraud ever in the history of Pennsylvania.
You can't answer a question.
And the likelihood.
I'm not going to stop. Answer this question. Do you have any shame about supporting a candidate that doesn't have the moral courage to say, stop dividing the country?
Republicans in their attempt to disenfranchise voters is outrageous, and it's fundamentally against the diversity that this country was built on.
You know what?
I thought that getting more people to vote was what made America great.
There's way more poor white people in this country than there are poor black people. So the idea that you assign a racial motive to voter ID, is there voter fraud in this country?
Almost never.
There is voter fraud, and how do you protect? It is by having an ID. That's the smartest way to do it.
No.
And what do you think? What Bill Maher said, that black people take the buses. What, white people in Appalachia don't take buses? I mean, how is it racial? How do you assign every negative thing that anybody does? You want to fix Medicare, it's because you want to screw grandma.
It's not just racial. It's not just racial.
Look, you assign poor, sinister motives to noble endeavors.
The Republican majority leader in Pennsylvania said, you know what, pass this law, it'll deliver the state to Romney. It is purely political. The incidence of voter fraud,
Are you going to voter fraud
is the exact same as the likelihood of being struck and killed by lightning.
Please let me ask you a question.
The incident.
Are you going to the Democratic National Convention?
I am going to the Democratic and the Republican.
To get into the Democratic National Convention with credentials, guess what you need?
We are not talking about nominating the president.
Wait a minute.
We're talking about voting.
Identification. So if you needed to get into the DNC, why don't you accuse them of racism?
Because we are talking about a fundamental civil constitutional right to vote. The Constitution does not guarantee the right to attend a Democratic convention.
You need ID to get welfare. You need ID to. You used to need ID to buy a Blockbuster tape, to rent a tape. You need ID to buy liquor.
I mean, guys,
everybody has
cigarettes.
Cigarettes. Admit the fact that you are looking to disenfranchise people that are not likely to vote for your candidate. The Republican House leader in Pennsylvania admitted it. Why can't you?
You are playing the race card, just like you're playing the scare granny card, just like you're playing
the race card. I'm talking about disenfranchising voters here. You're letting people vote who are registered to vote.
You need an ID to get in the DNC convention.
What are you afraid of?
Bernie.
What we're afraid of is voter fraud. We want to protect against. It does happen. It's happened throughout. Listen, hold on a second. Look, you and Bill Maher, you got to cut back on the reefer that you smoke. It's a lot stronger today than it used to be. That's first of all. But there is voter.
I read that somewhere.
Yeah, it is. It's very strong. And so take it easy on.
You know what? The corollary to this would be, you know what? We're afraid of people being struck by lightning, so let's put up lightning rods everywhere to make sure that people are safe. That is what you guys are fundamentally doing.
Don't stupid to get ID. Is that what you're saying?
No, it costs money. By the way, up to 10% of voters don't have voter IDs.
Don't you want to know?
They don't have it. Everybody does have a car. Everybody's not rich like you guys.
Don't you want to know that our elections are fair and that people who shouldn't be voting are not voting?
I do want to know.
And if you have a better system of identifying that, tell me what the system is.
A better system would be better voting machines. Would be making
better
sure
voting
that
machines. So how does the voting? Wait, stop.
Spread misinformation
how does the voting machine?
When voting occurs, that would make a lot more sense.
Can you please answer a question? How does the voting machine? How does a voting machine determine whether or not somebody's eligible to vote? Tell me.
Because if voting machines don't properly tally votes, the incidence of
how does a voting machine tell if somebody's eligible to vote?
Look, you are looking for a remedy in search of a problem.
How does a voting machine determine
the answer is it doesn't. It doesn't. Why don't you allow people to vote from their homes on a phone? I mean, if you
look, you're trying to deny people the right to vote by mail. You're trying to limit early voting, and you're
playing the race card. Just like the vice president.
What's refreshing is that people like Governor Wilder are calling out people like Joe Biden and you and Bill Maher, who are pandering, who are exhibiting the soft bigotry of low expectations, that people can't go get an ID if they want to. Of course they can, and they should get it. And are you walking?
Got to end it there, guys. Thank you.
Up to $20 to get the ID.